Here are my top 10 flowers to winter sow and a couple of bonuses for you. Let's go. Here is the criteria for my top 10 list. They all benefit from the cold period that winter sowing provides. They're pollinator friendly, and they're generally easy to take care of. They also are lower risk when it comes to winter sowing. They're more likely to survive an unexpected cold snap or temperature swings. So this list of flowers are some that are likely not to disappoint you when you winter sow them, no matter your growing zone. And if you are new to winter sowing, I would recommend that you watch my comprehensive starter guide to winter sowing. It walks you through everything you need to know about the method, and also a video about breaking winter sowing rules. I'll link both in the description below. Number 10 is Rudbeckia triloba, or brown-eyed Susan. It's a low-maintenance plant that pollinators love, and it has a long bloom window of a couple of months. It's super easy to winter sow and transplant, but watch out because it self-seeds readily. It'll also perennialize in cooler climates. Other Rudbeckia also benefit from winter sowing, but this particular strain, in my opinion, is the easiest to grow. Number 9 is Sweet Joe Pye. This is a tall, perennial wildflower native to North America that's loved by monarch butterflies, swallowtails, and hummingbirds. The first year, it grew a couple of feet for me, but by the second year, if the roots are well established, the plants can grow to be 4 to 7 feet tall. So be sure to give Sweet Joe Pye some space. It would be great in the back of a flower bed or even as a hedge or a native border. Coming in at number 8 is hollyhock. I absolutely love hollyhocks. They are a hardy biennial, meaning they typically grow leaves year 1, bloom year 2, and then they often die after that. Typically, you have to start them really early to get them to bloom their first year, but winter sown plants seem to be more vigorous, and I have had them bloom the first year. They grow to be 5 to 8 feet tall depending on the health of your soil, with beautiful tall spikes, and they are worth the wait. Their roots are cold hardy, and the plants are heat and drought tolerant as well. They will also self-sow, so make a spot for them in a bed and they will keep cycling through and blooming for you. Number 7 is purple mullein. Purple mullein is a beautiful, much more compact ornamental mullein species than the common mullein, but it still has similar medicinal benefits, particularly for respiratory health. It loves to be winter sown and it transplants well. It can reach 2 to 3 feet in height, blooms for several weeks, and then is a magnet for bees. The plants are super drought tolerant once established, and it also makes a lovely cut flower if you harvest it as the bottom blooms begin to open. Southern Charm mullein is also a lovely related hybrid that's a variety of colors. Number 6 is purple coneflower, or Echinacea purpurea. Echinacea I've found to be very tricky to start indoors, but it absolutely thrives when winter sown. It's very slow to grow, so you have to be patient with it. And I like to give the roots at least a 2-inch cube of soil space and leave them undisturbed until they have at least 2 sets of true leaves. But once they're transplanted and their roots are established, they are very heat and drought tolerant, and they'll often bloom from spring through late fall. They are a favorite of pollinators and have potent medicinal benefits for the immune system. And as a bonus, they have a long vase life when used as cut flowers. Number 5 is bee balm. Bee balm, or any other plant in the Monarda species, are extremely attractive to pollinators, and it provides a great deal of pollen for the bees. It's also such a beautiful flower with an unusual shape, and it grows clusters of them that are a lovely pop of color in the garden, and also a nice cut flower for your table. Next year, I'll be growing much more bee balm so that I have more to share with my native bees. Bee balms are very hardy plants once established and will be long-lived perennials in most growing zones. Really quickly, if you're finding this content helpful, I would love it if you would consider liking, subscribing, or sharing it so that we can continue to share the joy of growing with others. Coming in at number 4 is Shasta daisy. Shasta daisy is a long-lasting and low-maintenance perennial that loves to be winter sown. They're another that is super cold hardy, but also very heat and drought tolerant. It's not very picky about soil type, but like many of the other flowers on this list, it does not like to sit in soggy soil. Once they're established, they do spread and can be divided every couple of years, and you're likely to have Shasta daisies forever and have some to transplant and share with friends. Coming in at number 3 is Sweet William. Sweet William is a popular flower in the landscape and for a cutting garden. It's very cold hardy and works perfectly as a winter sown plant. Most varieties are biennial or are short-lived perennials, meaning sometimes you have to wait until the second year for blooms, but winter sowing does increase the likelihood that you'll get blooms the first year, or you can also look for varieties that are first year flowering, such as Amazon or Sweet. But it comes in so many colors, is a very sturdy cut flower, and it's also deer and rabbit resistant. Number 2 is mountain mint. There are several species of mountain mint, and they are absolute pollinator magnets. But my favorite so far is called hairy mountain mint. It's a North American native that's sweet and aromatic, and I would honestly just grow it for the smell of it. But the foliage is lovely, and if you're thinking about how invasive mint plants tend to be, it is not a plant in that mint family. It has a very modest growth habit and does not spread quickly via rhizomes like mint does. However, mountain mint is a hardy, low-maintenance perennial that's perfect for a cottage garden. And as a bonus, the greenery and flowers make a lovely filler in cut flower arrangements. And coming in at number 1 is, drumroll please, yarrow. Yarrow is number 1 on my list for several reasons. It is super easy to winter sow. Transplants can be crowded in a container, and they're really sturdy when divided and transplanted. It is a beautiful hardy perennial that adds beautiful texture to cottage gardens with its fern-like foliage and flat flower heads. It performs well in poor dry soils, and it spreads easily but is not invasive and comes in a variety of colors and also has a long bloom time. It's also a medicinal powerhouse. It's been known to stop bleeding when used as a poultice, and it's also a digestive aid and has anti-inflammatory properties. It also supports a wide range of beneficial insects, from bees and butterflies to hoverflies, ladybugs, lacewings, and parasitic wasps. It's also virtually zero maintenance and deer and rabbit resistant. Yarrow is truly a must-have in any garden. Okay, I also have one bonus for you and a quick list of runners-up because there are so many great flowers to winter sow. My bonus flower is chamomile. It is super easy to winter sow, very forgiving, and is always a delight to have in the garden. I love harvesting the blooms to use for fresh chamomile tea, and it reseeds readily. So if you plant it one year, you're likely to have it forever. And here are some runners-up if you want even more options for easy winter sown flowers. Verbena bonariensis, milkweed, poppies, lupins and bluebonnets, alyssum, blanket flower, larkspur, columbine, delphinium, orlea, nigella, penstemon, scabiosa, and foxglove. So I hope this list is helpful. Are there any favorites that you have that I missed? Please drop them in the comments below. I wish you joy on your winter sowing journey, and I'll see you next time. What a good kitty you are.